Facebook, True Clef Music followers, fans. I'm RJDaMonarch, editor-in-chief, founder, CEO, HNIC of TrueClefMusic.com. I've never made a video before, but I feel compelled to tonight. I'm having a debate on Facebook. I'm having a debate on Twitter, on True Clef Music itself, about the Billboard Millennium Award. Tonight, what's the Billboard Awards? Beyonce performed, Rihanna performed, Britney Spears performed, all the big names in music performed. After Beyonce's performance, let me do the before first. Before Beyonce's performance, her mother, Lady Gaga, Barbra Streisand, a bunch of big names came out and said, had their thoughts about Beyonce and said some things about Beyonce. It was a crock of shit. Beyonce is on her 4th album. It comes out on the 28th of next month. Beyonce's had 5 #1 singles. Beyonce hasn't outsold anyone. Beyonce hasn't done anything significant aside from win 6 Grammys that she didn't deserve. She won in R&B categories for a pop song, but that's a whole different debate, and I'm not gonna get into it because I know I'm gonna get panned for this video, and I know people are gonna say some real fucked up shit to me, about True Clef Music, whatever. I love Beyonce. This right here is one of my favorite albums of all time. I love her. But I'm not a stan. I'm not a blind Beyonce follower like most of her fans. The single is trash. The performance was hot tonight. I'll give her that. She came for everybody, and her fans really need to see that, because there's a lot of doubt right now. I still don't think she's gonna have a huge first week. But that's a whole nother conversation. We're not even going to talk about that. What I'm here to talk about is Michael Jackson and Mariah Carey. 11 years ago, they both won the Millennium Billboard Award. At the time, Mariah Carey was 29, same age as Beyonce. She had 15 #1 singles. She had rivaled herself with the Beatles and Elvis with the amount of singles and albums that she sold. She had a hit for every year of the 1990s. She was the best-selling artist, not female artist, best-selling artist, period, of the 1990s. Huge, huge body of work. 5 or 6 albums. More than that. Hundreds of millions of records, hits, acclaim, one of the greatest singers of all time. Her resume is long, and that was 11 years ago. It's gotten so much more crucial since then, but 11 years ago it was still very, very crucial and a lot better than anyone else. Michael Jackson, the man had been recording music, had been performing, had been in the industry since he was 5 or 6 years old. What can I say? Everyone knows Michael Jackson's contribution to music is huge. Everyone knows that Michael Jackson, there's no one recording music right now. There's no one that's been signed recording music since Michael Jackson, since probably like the 80s and 90s, that wasn't inspired, that wasn't in complete and total awe of Michael Jackson. My question is, how could they give those two artists, Mariah Carey, Michael Jackson, this Millennium Billboard Award, this huge honor, and then give it to this artist that only has 5 #1 singles, that hasn't outsold anyone, that hasn't done anything really significant except put on a great stage show? Beyonce can perform her ass off. The bitch can perform, but Michael Jackson can perform. Mariah Carey is one of the greatest voices of all time. And the main argument that I get when I talk about this issue is, oh, well, her and Destiny's Child, and they did this, and they're the best-selling group of all time. Don't factor in Destiny's Child, because Michael Jackson, he was deserving of the award all by himself. They didn't have to go and throw the Jackson 5's shit in there with him for him to be deserving of the award. So Don't try to do it with Beyonce. She doesn't deserve the award. She hasn't even been recording as a solo artist for 10 years yet. This is album number 4. It's ridiculous to me that the notion of her winning this and the fact that she actually did is just I'm out of my fucking mind. I don't even know. I'm making a video. I've been doing music media. I've been blogging since 2008. And this is my first ever video. And I'm making it because I'm outraged. I feel disrespected. I feel like if Mariah Carey hadn't had those babies when she did, if she, tonight, she would have. Her water would have broke. She would have spit those twins out. I feel like Michael Jackson is moonwalking in his grave. It's disrespectful. She's totally undeserving of this award. And I'll say again, I love Beyonce. I love the vast majority of her music, but she does not. Who's calling me? 224. I don't know that number. I'll call them back. But she doesn't deserve it. She doesn't deserve it. The fans keep trying to justify it, but the bottom line is, if you pull up Michael Jackson's accomplishments and Mariah Carey's accomplishments and look at them and then compare them to what Beyonce has done as a solo artist, even if you do factor in Destiny's Child, it isn't comparable. The amount of records, the amount of albums, the amount of hits, it's not comparable. I'm outraged. I'm disgusted. That's my point of view. If you don't understand, if you think that I'm a hater, I'm not a hater. I'm just a person that's able to look at facts, look at numbers, and it's common sense. 5 #1 singles, 15. 4 albums, 6 or 7. 150 some odd million albums 11 years ago, and what? Beyonce sold what? B-Day did 6. Dangerously in Love, let's just say it did 6. It didn't. It did like 3. Let's just say it did 6. I Am 6 or 7. How many is that? That's like 22, 20, 24 million albums. Hundreds of millions of albums from Mariah Carey. Hundreds of millions of albums for, they're calling it again, for Michael Jackson. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry.